All right, so this is really interesting. I think you do some really good stuff here, Prudent, in the sense of creating the character. It's a little bit far away from the camera, so I'm making some guesses on the idea that you are playing an old man. What is not nearly as clear is what is his obstacle. It appears to me that he's simply getting a tray, possibly of food, and placing it somewhere, but I'm not 100% sure what he's doing exactly. So even though the character is fairly clear, the situation is still a mystery, and certainly what the challenge that he's trying to get past is a mystery as well. So what I would do if I were you is I would try to work for clarity. How can I make it more clear what I'm trying to accomplish? What is the obstacle preventing me from getting that accomplishment, and how am I going to get past it? Because without that clarity, it's really confusing. Miguel, you do a really good job in this scene. I tried to come up with significant feedback to you need to fix this mistake, and I had a lot of troubles finding a mistake for you to fix. You obviously put a lot of thought into what you were going to do. It really is a really great scene. The character is very clear. The music choice was perfect. And what I really liked is that once you got into the match, you really show how, even though he's a competent fighter, you can show the struggle. I mean, the man has times when he's really concerned he's going to lose this fight. There's that great moment when you fall down to the nearly onto the ground, and he's clearly dazed. I thought that was a really strong idea. That the obstacle in this one is that this is the closest he's ever been to being defeated. He's so confident when he walks into this room. It's very clear that he thinks he's got this. And let me see if I can see the exact moment where I was thinking it really did a good job. Because you could easily make a boxing one kind of dull, but that was a good one. But it's the next one coming, if I'm not mistaken, was where I thought you really did a really strong choice of showing that obstacle. There it is, right there. That moment right there I thought was really strong. And I guess if I was going to say anything that you could work on to make this even better is to even play that up further. This idea of just how bad he's getting beaten. Maybe getting beaten even worse so that he has to come back in. And then also, maybe if you can show a very clear, one hit that was the end hit. Good work, man. Good work. Petrella, this is another good example of really well done work on character. Now, I wish it was flipped the other sideways so that we could actually see this better. But I thought you did a really strong idea. The character is not as clear to me beyond just being a guy. It could just be you. And so one thing you could do is maybe work on defining him as somebody different from you. Now, my criticism on this one is that even though it's very clear we're in a campground and he's lying down, I'm not 100% sure what he's doing right now. This is where clarity became a bit of a problem, because I'm not really sure what that was. Now, also it seems a little strange, you got up, then you kind of went right back to sleep, so I'm not exactly sure what's happening. Now, this next obstacle was much stronger and much clearer. Whatever this creature or whatever it is that you're seeing, a bug, a rodent, whatever this is, I thought this was fairly clear. Now, one thing I would say as a criticism is that the camera is our audience. So make whatever it is that you're attacking towards the camera so we can really see what you're doing. But overall, good work. And sorry that there's no audio for this. I don't know if you have a song going on right now, but we simply couldn't hear it. So I think that there's some things you can work on, but overall I like what you're doing. I thought the swimming section was especially good, as it's very clear what's going on. I will say this. Without the swimming section later, this section right here is very confusing. I'm not exactly sure what's going on because we haven't established the swimming. I'm not sure how you establish the putting on the swim trunks first anyways, but that was a little confusing. The other thing that was a little confusing is that conversation you had at the very beginning is a little confusing on what's going on. Then this appears to be somebody swimming and having troubles, and now it seems like you're playing two characters, one that was having troubles and one that's pulling somebody back. And then it looks like you're having a conversation among those two characters, but it's not clear to me exactly what that conversation was. Maybe some of the effect of a coach telling a player he can't go back in, and he says he wants to go back in, which is possible, but I'm not 100% sure. So what I would say is that playing two characters might just add too much confusion. So is there any way that instead of playing two characters, you could play it as a swimmer who's having troubles himself, has to get out of the water and face his own courage to go back into the water? Maybe he gets scared and then freaks out instead of being saved by someone. That's the only thing I could think of. But overall, I thought it was good. All right, here's another silent one. So Marshall, a few things. First off, I would give this a couple of sections. Sort of before the fight, maybe even after the fight. So there's a setup to this because you go straight into this fight. The other thing I would say, this was the same fear I had with Miguel's one, is that the fight needs to have an obstacle. And I know a fight is ultimately just a big conflict and a big obstacle, but perhaps it's a matter of some sort of change or twist in it. And you actually do this right here, this moment right here, I was really hopeful that you would take that and go further with it. This idea of this guy that's fighting and then injures one arm, and perhaps that's his dominant arm, and so now he has to try to fight through the pain with one arm that's no longer working. I would take what you did and just really expand on it. That way it really feels like an obstacle that he has to fight through. I'm not sure what was going on there. Hopefully that wasn't somebody being mean to you. So Sebastian, here's the thing. Sorry, it's sideways. It is not clear to me who you are or exactly what your story is. Everyone else had a pretty clear goal, even if there were some minor problems. This one just seems like you're standing. And also, part of the problem is that you have to understand the camera is the audience. Since for the most part, all we're seeing is behind you, I can't even tell what you're doing right now. But it doesn't seem like you have a clear idea of what you're trying to accomplish. I asked you guys to write scripts on purpose, and one of the reasons why I wanted you to write a script is so that you knew kind of what you were trying to accomplish in the scene. And here just kind of looks like you're making it up for the first time and you've never put any thought into what you're trying to do. And if you have put a lot of thought into what you're trying to do, then you're not delivering it in a way that's clear to the audience. So rethink what your goals are and try to redo this in a way that delivers that message, whatever that message is.